So our fridge died on this last trip out, and I've been looking at what my options are. The issue is that the cooling unit is no longer working properly. It is possible to replace the cooling unit on this. That would run somewhere over $600. So I'm figuring I'm just going to go ahead and replace the fridge. The cooling unit was replaced on this 16 years ago. It's a good fridge. It served us well, but it's getting old, and I don't think it's worth putting any money into. It's a three-way fridge, so it has 12 volt cooling, propane, and 110, which is kind of nice. But some of these absorption fridges, meaning that it has ammonia and hydrogen back in the cooling unit, they are a fire hazard. This one is not one of the ones that was subject to recalls related to that. In its day, this was a fairly high-end one. It's the Royal, made in Sweden. But so I've been looking at my replacement options, and the problem that I've been running into is that the dimensions of the newer fridges seem to be slightly different than what this is here, a cutout. So my project today is to go ahead and remove this so I can get an accurate measurement of what the cutout is. I expect this weighs over 100 pounds, probably somewhere around between 130 and 150 pounds. There are screws in the face of it holding it in, and I expect that there's going to be screws in the back as well that I'll need to undo. I've got to unhook the power, the propane, both 110 and 12 volt. I'm probably going to have to take the doors off to gain access to those screws that are hiding right back there. There's another one down there, right there. I may find screws behind the top and bottom, so I'll have to investigate that. Some of the other fridges that we've been looking at are taller, so that could necessitate needing to do something with these cabinets on either the top or the bottom. I don't like the idea of getting into cabinet modifications, but I'm going to have to see what I can find that'll be close. So I've got to get an accurate measurement of this hole in here so I know what is available and what might fit and what the extent of the modifications need to be. So now they do have these new fridges that are not an absorption fridge. They have them where they run a 12 volt DC compressor and 110, no propane. I really like the propane. I mean, this thing hardly uses any propane at all. But there is the fire hazard aspect of it. We don't necessarily do a whole lot of boondocking. Usually we're hooked up somewhere. We do have some solars on the roof. They don't do a whole lot. I might get 5 amps on an average day, maybe 10 amps, a 12 volt DC out of them. But if I were to go to one of those other style fridges with the 12 volt compressor, you do get a bit more room in the fridge because it doesn't have those coils back behind it. They can use the space behind the fridge that where the coils exist now, you know, the compressor is down in the bottom like, you know, a household fridge is. That does sound interesting, and it also could probably allow me to remove the vent that I have for the chimney on the roof of this bus, which might help putting an awning on. I'm going to have to take a look at that. That's something else I'm going to be weighing into my decision on how I go about this. So, time to start the removal process. Okay, so this is the fridge opening. I've taken the door off. Just lifts off the hinge. And I've got to remove the 110. Straightforward. I've got to remove the 12 volt, which comes in right there. I've got to turn off the propane, probably at the tank, because I think that that is attached to the fridge there. Yeah, that's attached to the fridge, so I've got to, doesn't look like there's a shut off here for it, so I'm gonna have to turn that off at the tank. There's a couple of screws. There's a screw right there holding this down at the back, and there's another screw over in the other corner back over here holding that down. So I've got to remove those two screws, disconnect that propane line there, right there, and then once I do that, I'll go inside and remove the doors and remove all the stuff there, and we should be able to pull it out with some difficulty. Thing disconnected in back. There's a couple screws to pull underneath here to lift off this top panel, and indeed that hides the brackets to remove the door, and there are a couple more screws securing it to the cabinet hiding behind this control panel. So I'm going to go ahead and take the door off, just so there's one less thing flopping around, and I'm going to go ahead and take those screws out. Okay, we got the doors off, got the screws out. It's not moving. I suspect there's some sealant or something holding it in. So we're going to get a pry bar and gently pry on it here. Alright, we got it out. It's balanced on a little milk crate there. Now we got to see if we can actually get it out of here. We have some obstructions. Couches and whatnot. Yeah. Well, check that out. It's on the shop floor. Man, we were worried about getting this thing out of the bus, and the damn thing just barely fit out the door. We got it. Yeehaw. Yeah, we did take the passenger seat out, though, to make that possible. Gonna be redoing the floors anyways, so these chairs got to come out. We got new chairs for the front here, so it's not lost effort. So this is the first time we're seeing in the fridge hole inside of here. There's the vent. There's a baffle here to direct the heat up and out the vent. Some notes from the previous owner. Pretty grody in here. We haven't cleaned it or anything yet. a wire that appears to be pretty well. Oh, that's just a clear. It's a clear coating on the wire that's like coming off. It's not a big deal. The shielding itself is intact. So all the modern fridges are taller. The width is the same, unless you want to go with a double door, but that means removing some cabinetry. If we go up, we have to consider the curvature of the roof and the depth of the fridge, right? Because that will come into play as the fridge is taller. In this area, that's, you know, kind of the extent of the travel. And so I think we're probably going to end up having to go down, which means modifying this cabinet I am not a cabinet maker, and matching the stain is tough. But we shall see. Right now I'm really happy just to have gotten that fridge out of here. So we ended up going with a 12 volt DC only fridge. It runs off of a compressor just like a household fridge does. It will alleviate the fire hazard aspect of the propane, and it'll run off of the house batteries. It draws between 3 and 5 amps when it's operating, which I think we can live with that. Our house batteries charge when we're driving down the road, and they also charge off the inverter when we're plugged in, and we also have the solars. So that's what we're doing. It's also a little deeper than the existing fridge, so we've got more storage space as a result. I'll put a link in the description here in case you guys are interested in that. Well, today's project is to take about 4 inches out of the bottom of this cabinet here. So there's a bunch of wires and stuff on the back that got to get pulled off. The propane line's got to come out of there and stuff. And I got a carpenter relative coming over here to give me a hand with the carpentry part of it. And getting ready for the fridge install. If we have time, we might start getting ready to do our floor project. That's next. We're going to take this old blue carpet out of here, and we're going to replace it with some hard flooring. So with the dogs and stuff, just, you know, carpet's not going to really stay clean, and hard flooring's better in a high traffic environment. So if we have time, we'll get to that. This dinette's got to come out, and the couch has got to come out, and we got to see what obstacles we may encounter. I can think of a few already. So the new fridge that's coming is 24 deep, and I'm just checking this, and man, it's just right there. You know, from the face of the cabinet to where the curvature meets the back of the cabinet. So I think we're good there, and there's no wiggle room. We're going to have to go down. Unclear to me whether that 24 is you know, the total depth of the fridge, including the face, or if it's just the you know, the back part of the fridge, the part that sits inside. I have a hunch it's the part that sits inside, because it's given as cutout dimensions. Okay, we decided to take that bottom cabinet out because the whole thing had to come down 4 7/8, or well, 4 3/4. And that cabinet wasn't going to be big enough to be useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the whole thing down. We're going to build a bigger cabinet up on top. It'll be almost that big. And the fridge, you know, it's 60 inches tall, 5 feet. So it would be better if it was off the ground a little bit, but you really can't do that and have it be useful. Have a useful space on the bottom. So we'll have a useful space on the top. And we can't come up any further because of the curvature of the bus.